Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I've got just a short little video for you with an interview with the other half of the Conspiracy Farm, Jeffrey Wilson, of course, Pat Miletich, that other half from last night's show. Now, look guys, I know that some of you aren't MMA fans, but this goes beyond MMA, combat sports, and all that other stuff. What do I mean? Well, again, if you were watching me last night, you would know that I was amongst, and of course it's going to freeze up, there we go, thousands upon thousands of people. And I haven't been able to set up my studio as nice as I like with the green screen because I'm actually, after this, on my way to go have brunch with Miletich, his crew, and Jeffrey Wilson, and hopefully we're going to bring you a very big live broadcast where myself, Pat Miletich, and Jeffrey Wilson really go over what's going on in this crazy mixed up world. And Miletich had such a great thing to say afterwards. He talked about how the real pandemic are the amount of children going missing every year. He talked about how you don't need to shut down your business. And again, take a look around. Several thousand people at this event. And this is at the time it was actually starting to clear out. You see people heading to the exits. So first of all, I can't thank Pat enough for doing this. Secondly, I think it's so damn important that we get back to normal life and not some kind of a new normal. So without further ado, hopefully we're not going to have any hiccups here, and I'm just going to do it big and play the Jeffrey Wilson interview right now. Guys, thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share, and look for some big things today. Let's see what we got.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, I just got to witness the first live combat sporting event in the country with thousands of people.
Thousands, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Live and direct from the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds right here in the heart of America, Davenport, Iowa, on a rather balmy Saturday night. But history was made, ladies and gentlemen. This was some community shit we saw tonight. Bringing the Fight to Unite was about everybody coming together. You saw everybody out here tonight. But my man said this is literally one of the first outings for a sporting event anywhere in the country with actual people. We might get some shit for it, but we did our thing. We had a great time.
I mean, I don't know how you can get anything but applause. You know, again, I mean, you want to talk about diversity. Let's even take a look around right now. This thing was full of diversity, right? It was people coming together, had a good time. There were literally zero incidents here. I saw zero incidents of any kind of violence. I mean, you're going to have some people yelling, "I'll twist his dick," but what are you going to do?
Little minor brush fires, but that's why we got security, so it's all good.
And, you know, no one's going to get sick. And I get it. It's not like a sanctioned media protest. And if you want to wear a mask, you could. I mean, the lady right there, she's got one on, not wearing it so much, dancing around. But this was awesome. Pat Miletich gives a great speech after talking about how the real pandemic is the missing children in this country.
800,000 a year that go missing every single year. We have a very prominent case happening here in the Quad Cities right now that Pat brought attention to. But yeah, this is a serious issue that, you know, our children, man. If we can't protect our children, we're in bad shape. And again, 800,000 go every year. And you've talked about it on your show. I've talked about it on the Conspiracy Farm on some of the dark side of where some of this stuff goes. But we got to be able to protect our babies, man.
And that's a big thing because, you know, anybody who doesn't want to put that issue in the front, whenever they talk about the future of this country or the kids, what the fuck?
No.
And it really does bother me, again, that we've locked down this country. It's all behind pseudoscience. And, you know, I'm traveling the country trying to find a little freedom. I spent some time in Missouri.
Absolutely.
You're from Missouri.
I'm from here, but I live in Missouri now.
Yeah, I mean, these are two of the freest places I've been, is Missouri and there.
Iowa, you know, we have our hiccups too. You know, recently in the county we're in, Scott County, there was a possible vote for mandatory masks. They wound up, you know, no one was going for it. You can kind of wear it if you want to, but again, you know, not to get too deep into the pseudoscience of it right now because it's such a great night. But again, man, live on your feet or die on your knees. None of this stuff has anything to do with the things we're being told about, whether it's COVID or BLM, any of that shit. There's so much, like we say on our Twitter page, nothing is as it seems. So everyone do your homework. But again, you know, hopefully don't let people mandate your freedom. Go out and just empower yourself. Don't be self-hexed. You're not this victim that's going to get sick. Yes, you can get sick, but all the people, I had a couple of decent nephews that got it. They're fine. I mean, if you're older, obviously people who are immune compromised, etc. But at the end of the day, man, go live your life, man. Don't let these people have you make a choice between going and make a living and going to work or following these orders, not laws, but orders that have compromised millions of businesses, millions of people's livelihood. You got almost in certain places more suicides than COVID death. So again, man, live your life, baby.
And I love that. So where do you think this goes from here? I mean, obviously, this isn't going to be the last sporting event. I hope.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And props to Monty Cox for putting this on, because it takes sack, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
When an independent promoter like Monty, a legendary one for sure,
Without a doubt.
put something on. Yet Bellator next week is going to be at the Indian Casino with no crowd. And I would have liked to see Scott Coker nut up and say, hey, this is an Indian Casino. We can at least try the social distancing indoors. The UFC is not going to touch anything like this. Should people try to book more events like this in Iowa on this fairground?
Without a doubt. I think we're setting a precedent, though some people might think it's a dangerous precedent. We had the head of the LFA, whose fights are on the Fight Pass tonight, Ed Suarez, as well as Pat's broadcasting partner on the LFA, Ron Kruk, here tonight. They just shot down from South Dakota, where they had an event yesterday to an empty house. Again, it's a very delicate situation. So I hope we've kind of, I wouldn't say set it a trend, but fortune favors the bold. But like I said, we're some of the first folks out here trying to hold events with people, and fingers crossed, nothing happens to the masses. But I think everyone's going to be fine, and this will hopefully start people moving in that direction.
Exactly. You talk about South Dakota. I just came from South Dakota, and look, it's one of the more free places there for sure. But when I went to get my hair cut, Supercuts made me put on a mask, and I feel like the corporate pressure now is almost as bad, if not worse, than the political pressure we're being put on by our officials.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, like Pat was saying tonight, man, just live your life, man. Don't let these people dictate how you're going to live your life. If you want to wear a mask, absolutely wear a mask. But I don't know.
Listen, there were people here with masks. There were. I mean, there's not many of them left here, folks. But again, packed house out here. You're seeing it. And look, we got law enforcement right here. They're not wearing a mask.
Right.
If you want to do it, I'm not stopping you by any means. But don't mandate what I have to do with my life. Don't tell me that because I visited Iowa, Governor Cuomo, if I went home tomorrow, I'm supposed to quarantine for 14 days? Well, I'll tell you what. Michael Bloomberg or Andrew Cuomo can come to my house without their bodyguards, and they can tell me to stay there for 2 weeks.
And they having it. And again, all of this on something that is you're going to survive 99 point whatever it is % of the time. That alone, and the number of false positives, all this rage of all this lockdown right now again is based off. Yes, if you're going to test more, you're going to get more positives of something that's going to kill you less than 99% of the time. So again, man, it's just use common sense. Like I said, wash your hands. Just like anything else.
I wash my hands, but I haven't used hand sanitizer one time, and it drives me nuts when I'm in a place waiting in line, and the first thing the person does when they walk in is hit the hand sanitizer. They're like, "You motherfucker!"
Anyway. Not to get too deep into it, and I've said it many times on our show. This is more Pavlovian dog training. It's not about the Rona. It's about compliance, and the more we go along with it, the more they will. I'm sorry, I missed my point a minute ago. Yes, there are more positive tests, but the real indicator is hospitalizations and deaths, and we're seeing that completely decline. That should be the measuring stick, not the fact that people are testing positive for it more.
Well, the measuring stick for Cuomo is if 10 people out of 100,000, so 1 in every 10,000 just test positive in your state. Think about that. So for 1 million, all they need is 100 positives for me to have to quarantine myself. It's insanity.
Cuomo, it's almost like Fauci. His numbers are so fucked up. Cuomo could eat a satchel of riches with what he's done with New York, quite frankly. You're sending those old people back who tested positive. You're responsible for the death of so many thousands of people. I mean, I'm not even getting into like Trump or whatever. I'm not necessarily a Trump supporter, but he did build the fucking Javits Center. He did bring that big ship that they never used. They didn't fucking use it. So again, here we are being told.
And the Javits Center should have been the first place they used. Instead of putting all those old people back in nursing homes and quarantining families from visiting their loved ones now for 4 months, folks. For 4 months. We're talking a third of a year you couldn't see your mother, your father, if they survived.
And when this shuts down, when it finally does loosen up, the lawyers, kids, go get your fucking law degree, because the lawsuits that are going to fly against city governments, hospitals, for criminal negligence, for not allowing certain treatments like hydroxychloroquine, treatments that actually work, because no, don't do that because we want this fucking vaccine from Dickhead Gates and all that. But, again, this was a great night, man. The Quad Cities came together. We came out. We showed out. The the fight tonight was a definite success. Everyone had a great time. So glad to see Jason Burmis. And yeah, man, hopefully everybody enjoys their weekend. And just stop falling for the bullshit, man. Stop falling for the bullshit, because that's what it is, straight bullshit.
100%. Conspiracy Farm is the podcast. How do people follow you, Jeffrey Wilson, Pat Miletich, and Conspiracy Farm 1 at Twitter? Is that it?
The Conspiracy Farm on Twitter. No, I'm sorry. The Conspiracy Farm, yes, on Twitter. The Conspiracy Farm 1 on Twitter. At I'm Jeffrey Wilson on Twitter. At Pat Miletich on Twitter. Or theconspiracyfarm.com. You can find all that shit. The one-stop shop for all of us.
Yes.
And I appreciate all you do, all your work. Been a fan of yours for years, brother.
Stop it, man.
No, I'm serious.
Listen.
And it's been great to watch you tour the country and get that little taste of what's free still in this world and in this country.
I hope more people do it.
Absolutely.
Because they need to.
to.
Because listen, this is just a step one. You know what I'm saying? If we can't do this on the regular, we're going to allow these people to totally rule over our lives in ways we can't imagine.
The noose is tightening, ladies and gentlemen. Silence is acquiescence, so speak up. Just don't follow it, man. You know what I mean? All these rules or whatever, again, they're orders. They're mandatory orders. They're not laws. So when they come and arrest you, like, what exactly law did I just break? And so that's a lot where the lawsuits are going to come from as well. City governments, etc., with police forces who are arresting, finding people for unconstitutional laws. It's going to be interesting when this all plays out.
Absolutely. Guys, I'll see you on the flip side. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Peace, guys.
Sorry about that. So there was my interview with Jeffrey Wilson of the Conspiracy Farm. The other half is, of course, Pat Miletich. It looked like over 3,000 people in attendance, having a good time. People aren't getting sick, folks. All right? I promise you. There's not going to be a hot spot in Iowa or Illinois or the Quad City after this. That will be fictitious. So, you know, keep supporting my work. All you Burmis Brigaders out there that like what I do, thumbs the video up, subscribe, share, and remember, I can't do this without your support. $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me. Big donors, I need you now more than ever. Don't worry, I plan on putting together a lot of produced content, rented this for the night as well. Probably heading out of Iowa tomorrow. Maybe I'll extend a day, I'm not quite sure. But I'm really looking forward to an exciting broadcast with Pat and Jeffrey today, and I'm about to head out so I can go meet up with them. Remember, guys, all of my documentary films are free and available right on this channel right now. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. Watch them while you can. I love you guys, and I will see you all on the flip side.